Howdy-ho, boys and girls. Will here with Just-in-Time Prepping. Hey, the other day when we talked about bugging in. Today, what I want to do is talk about bugging out. You know, unless you have a plan on where you're going to go when you bug out, you're going to be, one, either walking a long time, or two, you're going to be looking for some place to go. And there's going to be a lot of people that are going to be doing that. So today I just kind of have this as a backdrop here so that you can see that depending on where you live, you could be walking for a long ways. You see how far you can see back there? That's where I live. So if I don't know where you live, everybody lives different parts of the country, or countries, outside the U.S. even. So, you know, you have to still have your food, your water, your shelter, your clothing, but you have to have some place to go. So, unless you're bugging in, you're going to be bugging out. So, bugging out is, guess what? Look, what you have to do is you have to start walking. Well, you could probably drive your car for a ways, but eventually you're going to run out of fuel. So today, what I want to say is, unless you have someplace to go, you probably should just stay in. Because when you start walking, and you're going to have to walk, trust me, you had better be in shape. And there's a lot of people that are just kind of sit around and do nothing kind of people. They go to work all day, they work their asses off, they come back home, they just sit down, relax on their couch or their comfortable chair, and they sit there and they drink their soda or their beer, whatever they have to relax with. Some people smoke the rope and some people don't. But part of the things you have to be is in shape. If you see this comes from staying in during the winter, and then I go out in the summer and I exercise and I lose all this, and then I'm in shape again just in time for the winter. So the best thing to do is, if you're going to bug out, you better decide to get a regimen of exercise. And that doesn't mean that you have to go out and walk 10 miles, even 5 miles you don't have to, but just go out and be active. Go fishing or go hiking in the woods, or go to one of these rec parks and walk around the thing for a few times, you know, something like that. Just exercise. Because if you don't exercise and the shit hits the fan, and you're planning on bugging out, guess what? Look at all those miles of nothing. So, my advice to you is start doing some exercising now. I mean, because when you get older, it's hard. Trust me, I know. As I'm getting older, it's harder to get rid of this here. So, if you want to bug out, you got to have your food, your water, your shelter, and you've got to exercise. Exercise is a big part of bugging out. So, this is what I'm going to tell you. Go out and find you a place to go hiking. Because if you're going to bug out, you're going to be doing plenty of hiking. And it's not going to be a little bit of a hike, it's going to be a long hike. We have some hills and mountains here, trust me. But to get to them, you have to hike. And for where I live, the nearest hills are like 5 miles away. And they're just hills. I mean, big hills, but they're just hills. To get where there's any trees, where there'd be shelter, is even farther than that, probably 10 or 15 miles away. So, you're going to have to be in pretty good shape to do that. So, my suggestion is to start now. I don't know how old you are while you're watching my videos. I don't know what kind of regimen you have for yourself set up. But for me, I try to go out and do something every day. I mean, I have some health issues. I'm probably going to be one of the first ones to perish when shit hits the fan. But I'm going to try to be in as good a health as I can before it happens. So I go out and I hike around and I look for things to do. I go fishing and I go walking around the lakes. And I go out in the wintertime and I try to hike and stuff when it's not snowing. And so there are things that you have to do. I mean, you have to physically force yourself to do it. Because, for one thing, it's healthy. I mean, the healthier you are when shit hits the fan, the easier it's going to be for you to be able to survive. It's just common sense. Like I've always told you, common sense goes a long ways. So, that's my objective, is to come out here and show you guys where I live. Because where I live, if you look out there, there's a lot of flat land. And guess what? When you're out there hiking in that flat land, you're probably not going to be alone. It's not going to just be you and your group. It's going to be several people and their groups. So, let's make a plan. Let's make a plan to go out and do something every day. I don't care how much it is. It doesn't have to be very much. It could be just walking around the block, maybe once or twice, or going to Walmart or Home Depot or one of those big superstores and walking around inside those things, you know, and just getting some exercise. Exercise is going to go a long ways. Because when shit hits the fan, there's going to be a lot of exercise to be done. For one thing, you're going to have to be outside exercising, chopping your wood, or building you a shelter, or providing for your family by going out and looking for food, water, things like that. And that's another thing. If you look behind me, you can see for a long ways. But what do you not see? You don't see any water. You know, and that's one of the main things that a person has to have to survive, is water. So, you just have to think about where you're going to bug out at. Get your map out, figure out where you're going to go, make sure that you're going to be close to some water. Make sure you're going to be close to somewhere where you can get the energy resources that you need, like wood, water, food. All those things are going to come into play when shit hits the fan. If you're not thinking about them now, what the hell are you going to do when it really happens? I don't understand, you know. People just don't get it that you have to prepare. And to prepare, you have to do it in a long-term situation. Look way down the road to do it. So that's our little lesson for today. Our little lesson is to make sure you have food, water, shelter, clothing, and resources. You have to have resources. So to do that, exercise. Exercise every day. I know it doesn't sound like a lot of fun. It can be fun. You can make it fun. Go out with your family. Go out with your children. Pick somebody from work. Say, hey, I need to lose some weight, or I need to get in better shape. Let's go out and walk at lunch. I mean, there's ways of doing it. I mean, if you say there's no way that you can do it, you're lying. You're lying to yourself. You're lying to others. I'm sorry. That's the truth. For me, I do it for my health to last as long as I can. I myself have lung disease, and I just refuse to quit. I have never quit my whole life, and I'm not going to start now. So for me, I walk, I fish, I hunt, I do things that make me healthier. Eat healthy. I start eating healthier. I'm working towards being healthier. You have to think healthy. And to do all that, you have to have a plan, just like when shit hits the fan. Not just food, shelter, water, and clothing, but a big plan. Do you have a group? If you're not in a group, find a group. If you're planning on trying to be alone when shit hits the fan, it's going to be very hard. I'm not going to say that can't be done, but it's going to be harder for you to do. So, I really think that a person needs to be in a group. If you don't have a group, find one. If you're not good at being in the outdoors, look up online, research online, and find how you can get good at outdoors. I've heard that there's some groups out there for orienteering. And a lot of those groups have young people in them, and those young people will run circles around you. But you know what? They will respect you because you're an older person and you're trying to do the best thing that you can. So, there's lots of options out there, and if you don't, pick up off your butt, get out there, and try to do it. When everything goes to hell in a handbasket, and I'm not saying they're going to happen tomorrow, and I hope it don't, because that gives you, me, and everybody else time to get in condition so that they'll be ready. So my suggestion is go out and exercise. Exercise is going to be the big thing. Another big thing is learning how you're going to run your security. If you're going to be bugging out, you're going to have a security plan. What is your security plan? If you don't have one, you need to get one. So my security plan is carry a big gun. My son's security plan is to carry a big gun and a big stick. But there's other things. Get in a group. Teach your group how to go out and handle other people so that you're in a situation to be able to handle that. What's another thing that I could think of telling you guys? Security, food, clothes, water. Oh, make sure that in your group you have people that are good at everything. Not just at going out and walking or going out and hunting, but you're going to need people that know a little bit about plumbing or how to create energy. There's plenty of things. How about people that are in good shape, that can chop wood, people that can do laundry, all the necessities that we take for granted now. This is all part of what you're going to need when you bug out. Because when you bug out, you make sure you're in a group. Make sure that your group is well formed, that you have the people in there that you're going to need to survive bugging out. And then you have to worry about where you're going to bug out to. You might make sure that when you bug out, you know where you're going to bug out to. Because shelter is going to be in there. You need to go out and you find a place where you can build shelter, not just for you, but for the whole community. And that's all part of SHTF, is working together, making a plan, making sure it comes together. And the top thing in my book is exercise. Make sure that you're in good enough shape to handle everything that's going to be thrown at you, because believe me, it's going to be tough. And if you don't believe it is, then you are not looking at the real truth. So for today, let's stop there, and then I'll try to pick it up again next time. We'll try to pull out one of those things that we talked about today and just focus on that. So for today, let's call that ta-ta, and I'll catch you guys on the flip-flop. By the way, Leo says hi. He couldn't make the trip today, but Leo stands for pride and pride and strength. I got kind of blindsided there. I couldn't think for a minute, but it's pride and strength, and Leo the Lion stands for that in all my videos. But he couldn't make the trip out here today, so that's what I'm going to tell you. So, till next time, you guys have a super weekend. It's a great day out here today, and God bless.